Hello and welcome to the Alliance University Podcast. Each week you will be able to hear from some of the best product training from the top leaders with the Alliance. Grab a pad and pen, get ready to take notes, and learn something new.
My name is Jason Kerry. This is my beautiful wife, Tani Kerry, and we're going to be hosting today's call for you. Coming to you live from Casa Cali, which is in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you're wondering, are they in the kitchen? Yes, we are. Are we doing a cooking show? No, we're not. But seeing that most of our stuff, most of what we do with clients and insurance happens at the kitchen table, it happens in the kitchen area, we felt no better place than to do this particular call on sales right here, having coffee with you, with myself, my wife, and a couple of our dear friends, with Mr. Marvin Osuna, also known as Jason Kerry on the screen, with our friend Marvin Osler, also known as Jason Kerry on the screen. And we shall have one other person joining us here pretty soon with Allah coming in live from Georgia. So today's call, how to write more premium, more policies, more insurance for more people, how to have a bigger impact, how to be more significant, how to increase your sales volume, how to write more applications. That is on our heart today, and this is what we're going to be talking about today, helping you write additional policies in the home, out of the home, all the time, every time. And that's what we're going to be dealing with today. So the first thing I want you to write down, if you're going to be writing, because most of the issue is, especially when we're brand new, is that we get used to doing one or two things. We get used to getting leads, booking appointments, going there, helping them with the final expense or helping them with the mortgage protection, and then we still can't believe it. Can we be honest with each other? I know you can't believe they bought from you. You can't believe they gave you their checking information. So what do? You hightail your hiney out of that home, praying that they don't change your mind. And the blinders go on and nothing else happens. And this is one of the major reasons why so many of us have such a hard time helping clients with the additional needs that they have. So the first thing that you got to have is you got to have a commitment. Write that word down, commitment. You got to be committed that guess what? You're not just waiting for leads. That no matter, you're just not there just to help the person on a one-time wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. No, it's you're there to be everybody's help. You're looking for every opportunity, every person you talk to is a shot. You got to be committed that every person you talk to, you have a shot. You have a shot to make a difference. Whether if it's a lead, whether if it's a friend, a family member, whether if it's a wrong phone number, whether if it's somebody at a park or your hairdresser, whether if you just sold them a policy, whether if you sold them their car insurance, whether if you help them with their Medicare, whether if you help them with their life insurance, you got to be committed that you have a shot to make a difference in this person's life. Everybody you come in contact with, you have a shot. And really, that's the best thing. That's the best thing that you could ever be given. And sometimes the shots that you're given don't come to you the way that you think they're going to come to you, by the way. Like you got to, let's see, you got to be committed. Because if you're not committed, you're going to miss opportunities that come your way. But sometimes these opportunities, they're disguised. They're disguised as mistakes. They're disguised as obstacles. They're disguised in many different ways. So first, I'm going to have my beautiful bride, my lovely wife of over 20 years. We've been together. We've been together since 1996. It's 25 years.
Why are you telling me
25 years. She's been my ride or die. 25 years. We've been together, married for over 20. We got two beautiful daughters, Jenna and Olivia Kerry. They're 18 and soon to be 17 years old. And I'm going to unleash my dynamite, my secret weapon on you this morning, because she's going to talk to you about how to take some shots when they're given to you.
I love this because today it's like we talked about, this is coffee. So if you want to say, hey, it's coffee with the Carries, I'm your friend, and I want to help you win today. And sometimes as a brand new agent, and maybe you've been here for a while, you're sitting here as Jason was talking about, and you've got your blinders on, you're calling your leads, you're booking appointments, you're making sales, but sometimes we can get so tunnel vision. And so today, I guess really our call is to help you expand and to look at every time you have an interaction with someone as an opportunity to make a sale. And so it was probably like 2 weeks ago. I'm sitting here and I'm making some dials. I'm calling for Jason. He's got some annual reviews, and I'm looking at some statements, and I'm making some phone calls. And I started calling off of this annuity statement that he had written maybe 12, 13 years ago. And we hadn't talked to the client. I'll be honest, we've been guilty of not calling this one specific client, and not any of them, but just our annuity clients in general. And so I started calling, and a lady picks up, and I always assume, so tip number one, I always assume it's the person that I'm talking to is who answered the phone. So I go right in, hey, it's time for your annuity review. Looks like it's coming up. Time to, look at what we're going to do for your annuity and your retirement. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, so help me to understand your schedule. Do you work Monday through Friday? So I go into getting her schedule, and I start booking the appointment. And she goes, so hold on a second. Who are you with again? And I said, I'm with the company that wrote your American Equity annuity. And she was like, American Equity. That doesn't sound familiar. I said, it would have been, makes sense. It would have been about 12 years ago. She goes, no, I don't have an American Equity annuity. And I'm looking at the paper that says that this lady has an annuity, and there's like $60,000 in it. And I was like, well, it's got a good chunk of money in it. So we probably should do your review. She goes, no, I don't have an American Equity annuity. I've got lots of other annuities, but not American Equity. And I said, well, hold on for a second. Is this Lisa at 1234? And I gave the street name, and she goes, no, darling, this isn't Lisa. This is Maria. And I said, well, okay, Maria, I was just about to set a retirement review appointment with you, and it wasn't even the right person. So I'm glad you let me know. And I said, by the way, sounds like you need some help with maybe a retirement. Have you been thinking about doing some stuff with your retirement? She goes, I'm so glad you called me. She goes, every week I have a day off. And for the last 6 months, I've been thinking I need to talk to someone about my retirement products. And I said, well, I'm just the person to help you. I said, okay, so let me get your name. So I got her name, Maria. And I said, Maria, now where do you live? And she gives me her address. And I said, okay. So we proceed to booking the appointment off of a wrong number. And there we uncovered $600,000 off of a wrong number appointment. And Jason this week just wrote the annuity with the help of BAM from Chris Norris. So that was so huge. And I'm sitting there and going, how many times have we gotten a wrong number? We called someone, gotten a wrong number, but we didn't slow down for about 5 seconds and go, you know what? It's a wrong number. So maybe there's an opportunity to help them with life insurance, retirement, Medicare, one of those things, and allow us to turn that moment where we're like, shoot, it's a wrong number. What am I going to do now? To now, it's $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 with more money to come, uncovering a $600,000 annuity. So I want to encourage you that as you're making phone calls, no matter who you talk to, no matter where you're at, you never know when that wrong number could lead you to uncovering a $600,000 annuity. And if you've got that sign over someone's head that's like, hey, this person's got this person's got retirement money, I just got to ask the questions. You're going to see more opportunities. And here's the thing, I could ask that question and I could go through 50 billion wrong numbers and never see a situation like this for maybe quite some time. But you know what? Now that I do it every single time, I'm going to give myself more opportunities to help more families, because instead of just sitting there and waiting for something to present itself to me, I'm going to make my own shots. I'm going to take every opportunity that I can to help a family. And that's really what it comes down to, is, are you taking every opportunity to tell people about what you do, how you do it, and how it can help them in their life really see success. So I think that's kind of
it's
key.
huge, because it starts with commitment. And I guarantee you, if you make dials at all, sooner or later, it's not a matter of if are you going to make a wrong phone number. It's just a matter of how many wrong phone numbers are you going to make today. Like, you're going to dial the wrong phone number. You cannot, I'm telling you, it's impossible. Because I used to make about $1,000 a week. It is impossible to make that many phone calls and hit the phone number correctly every single time. Every single time. In fact, I dialed the wrong phone number yesterday, but I was not as lucky as Tony, because I just got the disconnected phone number. And I looked, I was like, oh, I typed it in wrong. It happens. It's going to happen, but you got to be committed to making a decision in advance. So you have to know, I'm going to dial a number wrong. Sooner or later, it's going to happen to me. I'm going to talk to somebody that I wasn't supposed to talk to. And when that happens, what are you going to say? Are you going to let the opportunity pass you by? Or are you going to take advantage of the opportunity by saying, hey, well, I was supposed to talk to so-so about this. I'm sorry that I dialed you by accident. Any chance you've been thinking about adding on some additional life insurance, some final expense, some mortgage protection, maybe some dental, anything with anything health related, anything with health related products, anything that you need help with retirement? Do you need help with some of the services that Maria has asked me for? And guess what? 90% of the time, they'll probably say no. You don't need them to say yes every single time. You only need them to say yes a couple times. And it only happens if you're committed 100% of the time of taking care of these advantages. So,
and I think that was really key that what you said is, they're not going to say yes every single time. But let's say you get 30 wrong phone numbers a week that you talk to someone, and you ask those questions every single time you get a wrong phone number. I promise you, you'll make more sales just from wrong phone numbers. Just being open to not taking the blinders off from only leads to everyone I talk to is an opportunity to help them with what we do. And I think that's really powerful of why a lot of our agents are seeing more success, not just with leads, but around them, what's happening as they impact their communities, as they impact the people that are around them. And I just want to encourage you that you can too. If you take the blinders off and saying there's only one way and expand your vision, what you will find is that your book of business will expand. Your income will expand, and you're already putting in the work. So this is how to get more out of what you're currently doing. And I think this is really encouraging.
I think it's huge. And speaking of communities, you're just not limited to just leads or wrong phone numbers. Like there is a big world around you. Most of the time, there's only maybe 1% of the population may respond to some sort of marketing, some sort of direct mail or social media or internet posts. What about the other 99% of people that are around? What about your communities? What about helping them? What about taking the advantages that you have at your disposal? So with that being said, I got somebody brand new to our team, just started with our company, with our agency this year. And since she's begun, she has been absolutely on fire, a rising star in the Cary, in the Osuna, in the Ossoy organization. So it's with my pleasure, I get to introduce you brand new agent to the stage. She looks like she's Jason Cary on the Zoom, but she's really, her name is Awa. We go, Awa, Awa, Awa. All right, Miss Awa. The next couple minutes is yours. Please share with them just a little bit about your background, because you've been so amazing. I know you just came out of a client's house just a second ago, so please share a little bit with the people today what you are doing.
Hi, everyone. My name is Awa Patton, and I'm part of the wonderful Carrie and Eminem team. I worked for corporate for 18 years, and at one point I had to make a decision. So I signed up with the Alliance in January 2021, but I actually started working in March. So to tell you a little bit about myself, my second child, at age of 9, had a bone marrow transplant. And while I was at the hospital, I had to figure out what else I need to do. So I did start insurance, passed my license in 2014. And I promised myself that I will give it back to the community. I'll give it back to anyone that need help. But what to do, how to do it. So we all know when we first joined life insurance or financial services, we start with our families and friends. We start helping them. But when we run out of families and friends, what do we need to do? So I had to figure out another way to get in front of my community. So what I did, I have to find a strategy and figure out how to get them. So didn't know what to do. So I said, let me crash the parties. I don't go to the parties. I don't get involved in so many things that they used to do. But now guess where I am? At every single party, because that's where people are. And I understood that I have to be in front of them to be able to help them. On the phone, it doesn't work because they want to see numbers. They want to understand what they're putting their money into. So I find myself talking to people, getting invited to meetings or gathering that they're having. So Fear Group led me to more meetings and more people. So today, when I check my phone, I have more friends than I ever had. So my request, I go a simple way. I go from referral to referral. One referral will give me 3 people, and then those 3 people will give me 3 more people. The first meeting that I ever had was 40 people together. I was able to write 17 policies for those 40 people. And after that, went from one meeting to another referral to another referral. And I started doing leads, which first I didn't like the leads. And the M&M knows when you want to scare me, just talk about leads. And that changed everything. But today, leads is the way to go. I had the privilege to talk to Chris Hill last week. And I told him, Chris, I promise I'll get $400 of leads, which I did. I got $400 with the help of Marvin and Hannah. And I was able to get an appointment today. It started yesterday and we finalized it today. So for one final expense, I was able to close today $3,000 because she wrote the final expense, but she wrote 3 more 3 more IUL with F&G. And she wants to see me next week for 2 more policies for her and her husband. And her friend of her who has a sick child, she wants me to help them with them. So now that I know that we have more than just the community, the lead is the way to go. So when you run out of friends and family, guess where you go? You have to learn how to do the leads and love them. I don't like them, but I love them today. So I have learned one thing. I also show with my team what I do. I want them to duplicate everything that I do. So I try to teach them all that I know, walk them the same way so they can duplicate. So I'm trying to build an empire of strong duplicators. So today I have learned that it's not how much you know, but it's how much you care. People look at how much you care when you sit in their house. They can feel it. They can hear it from your voice. So show them that you care and you will get your business to another level. Thank you so much, Jason and Tony. It was such a privilege to be able to be here today.
I love that, Awa. So you started with walking and talking, and I love what you said. You are a party crasher, and I love that. You started inviting yourself to people's parties, and it's funny that when you look at it, we've got incredible leads. We've got the opportunity to talk to people. And sometimes we feel like we're scared doing all of those things. But I love it that you put yourself out there in every situation and you're like, I got to do something. So you started off with strictly referrals. And by the way, when we say strictly referrals, she is on track for Alaska with pretty much strictly referrals. But I love it that now you're growing and you're adding leads on top of that. So I'm loving the fact that you didn't just stop with one thing. You're always trying to grow your business. And you wrote 17 applications. I think I had a number here. It was 14 applications. I think it was for 17, 14. You keep telling me. He's shouting out numbers to me. But I was like, I got it right the first time. But over $14,000 in a party, just talking to people about what we do and how we do it. So real quick, if someone's like, okay, what do I say? I'm at a party, and just like you had to learn to get better at leads, what would you say to someone if they were at a party? What were you saying to them to help generate that interest?
So what I do, because it's the community, you're more comfortable. They don't know you, but you speak the same language. So I present myself, and usually they ask me, are you sure you're from Africa? I say, yeah, and I start building rapport with them, building a relationship. And I tell them what I do, try to find out what they do, because at the party, you can write a policy, that's for sure. So knowing each other, being pleasant, get the number, and make an appointment right then and there. And I make sure I go back and see them. So when I see them before I leave, I will ask, do you have anyone that you love so much that you would want them to know what you just have? Or you know that they need this information that I can help? So I always make sure I get a referral before I leave your house.
I love it. So not only do you book an appointment with them at the party to help them, you then ask them, do they know anyone that needs you as well?
Yes.
So you're not only booking an appointment, you're also getting a referral before you've even done the appointment.
Yes.
So you're just really talking to people about how passionate you are about what they do, but you get a number.
Yes.
In your exchange for your rapport. And then you tell them you need to sit down with them and you book an appointment. And then before you leave the party, you ask them for a referral.
Correct.
Do you get like referrals 100% of the time? Or like what usually happens when you ask for that referral? Like, I'm totally curious about this.
I always get a referral because when I ask that question and they say, oh, I have it so and so and so, I say, here's the form. Can you please put a number and phone number? But before I leave, while I'm working on your policy, would you call them and let them know to expect my call?
That's beautiful. So this goes back to our title of our call, how to sell more insurance to more people. So I love that, Awa. We are super pumped for you and what's happening. We have no doubt that you're going to join us in Alaska. We have no doubt that you're going to earn 6 figures your very first year with us. We have no doubt that you care so much about your clients that you go that extra step to make sure that your community, the people around you, and now as you're branching out in leads, you care about the people you don't even know because you're fighting for them and growing your business and helping your team. So congratulations, Awa. We're super pumped for you out there in Atlanta, Georgia. We're so grateful that you are part of this team because you make this team better. And we can't do it without you. So I love it. Jason?
So the first word we had you write down was commitment. The second word I want you to write down is awareness. Because that's something that I'm reminded of. As Awa was telling her story, I'm thinking there's somebody who is committed to making sure she's at every community event. There's somebody who is aware of every single community event that's going on. There's somebody who is committed, who knows what she needs to do when she's having conversations and she's telling and she's talking with people, building relationships. That was a key word, building relationships with people. And she's committed to booking an appointment with that person, like letting them know what she does, and then booking an appointment. I also heard a key word in there that was called love. And when she was getting the referrals, I love what you said, Awa, as in like, there's somebody that you love so much that you would want them to have the same thing. I think that is huge. Just that word of love. I think that's one of the things that just really drives your referral technique. So again, I agree with Tani. Great information there for people to be able to take and to be able to duplicate. So next up is, all right, so we talked about how to make sales off wrong phone numbers. We talked about how to make sales off of community events, whether if you're at a barbecue or with your hairdresser, or whether if it's referrals. Now I want to switch gears. What about writing business on your book of business? Many of us on this call, we have books of business. Whether we come from a Medicare background or a healthcare background or a mortgage background, a real estate background, whatever it may be, we come with a book of business. We come with people that we've already done business with in some sort of venture. So I got one of my really good friends. He's part of he is the second M of the M&Ms, because first it was Marvin Osuna, then it was Marvin Osuna. So he's the second M of the M&Ms. You know, newly minted agency manager for the last 6 months. He is just turned the organization upside down as far as what he's been able to do with his property and casualty clients. And he's been going flying across the country, teaching other P&C agencies to do the exact same. So with that, I get to welcome my good buddy, my friend, Mr. Marvin Otsoy.
Good morning, Alliance family. Good afternoon, Alliance family, wherever you are. My name is Marvin Otsoy. I was hired by my friend Marvin Osuna, part of the carrier organization, and I'm glad to be here in the Alliance, running the business along with my lovely wife, Julissa, and the whole family, JC, Andresito, and Gabe. All of my 3 boys are joining in the business because we are in the business of servicing people. I have building my P&C agency. Yes, back in 2002, I opened doors in the Reno area in the insurance arena with another carrier, with a captive company. And I'm blessed because I'm in the, in the profession of service, just playing with politics in my country, running a political campaign, came back in 2019, totally broken. And I approached my friend Marvin Osuna just to help me out. And we created a plan. And I took the decision to follow that plan because I saw in the Alliance the potential of this business. So I joined the Alliance, or rejoined the Alliance, in August of 2019. Yes, 2 years ago. 2020 was the complete year, and amazing things are happening. So amazing things are happening because I didn't realize that during the past years, I've building a book of business, but I was not taking advantage of that because the lack of service or complete service to the clients. So I decided to tell everybody about what I was doing. I was basically promoting my name out there in the community, being involved in different activities every day. I was going to the Chamber of Commerce meetings. I was talking to the realtors associations, the lenders. I was visiting auto dealers. I'm involved in sports. I love to play volleyball, basketball, but I'm just good in soccer. I was playing soccer, and I even was coaching teenagers teams. I got my license D. So I'm a coach in soccer, and I was loving involving in soccer, going to church, school involvement. It's a very, very good excuse to meet people. So during these years, I was building a book of business, promoting myself, just telling people what I'm doing for living. I was going to public city council meetings. I'm proud of myself, telling to the people what I do for living. And I am in the mission. I'm in a mission to educate people, to advise people, to let them know how to fight against poverty, how to do a plan, just to follow that plan and get some money in the future for retirement. So I didn't realize that I was building something, but with a purpose in life. So God just was guiding me, and I know. So now I'm just realized that I'm building a legacy. There is something with purpose in life. So I decided, okay, the Alliance have the resources, everything, team working atmosphere, products, a lot of tools, and say, wow. So I'm going to use this system, this tool, and combine with my existing book of business without doing the thing that I was doing, meeting people, letting the people know what I'm doing on a daily basis. So now I'm in the mission, and I'm just selling more policies, every day, every year. And because of because of this, I think I'm engaging people in the conversation, allowing me to make analysis of my customer. So talking to people in a friendly conversation, I will find the way to see if they are in a need of final expense, term insurance, Medicare, dental, even with the pets. So we have pet products or IUL or different products. So I'm not pretending, but I'm doing that this is a dialogue with my clients. It's not a monologue. I'm trying to engage and create the value of the different products in a friendly conversation, not selling, because I'm not considering myself selling. I consider myself as an advisor, as an educator of certain products. Of course, selling are coming because you're doing the right thing and you're caring about people. That's why sellings are coming. But the first thing is just trying to educate and promote different products according to what I analyze in the customer. So I'm just checking interest in everybody when I talk to the people and see what is the best product for them or what could be a product for them. Typical questions to check interest on the customers are like, for example, do you have or do you save money for your retirement? Or do you save some money for your children's education? Do you have a plan for funeral expenses? Or, labor on the answers. If they are going to tell you what they are not saving money for any future need or education or something, so you will find a way. And then combine your knowledge using the quote tools, using the phone, using your laptop, using your tablet, your computer, so you can combine your expertise in running quotes and in a snap, tell the customers, you know what, there is a product that it costs you $8 per month, $10 per month. Could be an accidental death benefit, for example, which is usually my approach to the people. Not necessarily the only one, but because I'm in the business of insurance autos and homes and renters, so one easy way to say is because it's cheap, just accidental death benefit. But it is important, use real testimonies about your clients. So I found the other way that one of the clients approached to me and say, Marvin, I know I have a plan and I just have money there. And you know what? I'm in a need of money because a dentist problem with my boy. It was a dentist problem. So I need I remember $2,000 or so. So we called the company, we asked for the cash value in the policy, and whoo, there was enough cash value. And the customer says, how much do you want? I said, and the customer says, I just want just 3,000, 2,000, 3,000, something like that. Boom. 4 days after, he called me and he said, Marvin, wow, I got the money. There is a check for such amount of money here on my front door. Use it. It's your money. And he said, I'm going to give it back to the plan because this is my This is money for my kids. This is for his education in the future or for something. So use real testimonies. Do not hesitate to call your customer, just to talk to your client in front of the other people. Hey, George, do you remember about the plan that we put on your youngest child? 2 or 1 month and a half years old. I say, yeah. So he started to explain in front of the customer about the good experience of having an IUL, for example. So remember, in this case, and this is like a tip, a big tip, a bonus tip. Do you know that the government is advancing the child tax credit currently, right now? Yes, families with kids are receiving $250 per child, or in other cases, $300 per child. Not all of them, but few of them, or a lot of them, receiving this child tax credit advance. And people, they don't realize or they don't know what to do with the money. So advise them how to put at least half of them or a portion of that money and build an IUL. Always plant the seed in your customers during the conversation. The other day, customer approached to me and say, hey, Marvin, I am ready now because you talked to me about the rollover. I'm just quitting the job. I was working there for 21, 22 years. I'm just moving to a different one, and I have my 401k there. Can you help me out? Because you explained me very good the way that this works. I say, oh yeah, sure. Let's talk about this. Okay, just give me the statement and da da da. So he was ready. He gave me the statement and woohoo, bingo. I was not even talking to him that particular day. He approached me because few months before, I was telling about these different things that I'm doing here at the office, and I rolled over $248,000 from one 401k to an annuity. And examples are coming because I'm using testimonies about people. Hey, one thing before I forgot, use paper illustrations. Just get the attention of what you can do for your child, for your clients. So it's useful to have like 3 types of illustrations, different ages, 3 years old, 20 years old, 45 years old, and engage in the conversation to your customer, and you will find the way. So you as an agent, what do you want? How do you get it? If your dreams don't scare you, it's because they are not big enough. So dream big. The Alliance have everything. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. The system is already there. Just apply it and put actions on your work. See you all on the top. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Tony.
I love it so much. Here's what you're hearing from Otsoy is that he's using everything around. He's talking to everyone about what he does, how he does it, and how it can help them. And I just see it like you're just planting, like in my mind, I just see you out there with a whole bunch of like seeds, and you're just planting seeds in everyone that you come around. And then what happens is it may not take root at that moment, but because you keep planting it and planting and planting, people start coming back to you and saying, hey, they start chasing you down for your help because you've done the right thing for them. And I love it. And you're going to hear this word so often. You heard Otsoy talk about it. You heard Awa talk about it. You've got to care enough about the people around you, about the clients that you're sitting with, to not just, I call it the hit it and quit it agents, okay? That's what I call them. You can call it whatever you want, but just write the one policy and then you're like, hey, you're here today, but you're gone tomorrow. I'm just telling you that there is power in building relationships with the people that are around you, the clients that you have, and that takes time, that takes effort. But I promise you, a long-term committed relationship is better than a short time, a one-night stand. And I promise you, it will pay dividends in your business. The more seeds that you plant, the more people that you help and talk to them about what we can do to help change their lives. And I love it. Marvin said he's on a mission to reduce poverty, to get people out of poverty. He's on a mission to help eradicate poverty from people's lives. And that's really what we get a chance to do, is we get to help people take poverty out of their vocabulary, because they don't have to stay where they're at. And we have the tools and the opportunity to do that. So it's so powerful.
But that's the problem, Tony. I'm not Marvin Otsoy. I haven't been doing this for 25 years. I don't have a PNC agency.
I can't play soccer.
I can't play soccer. I don't know where the Chamber of Commerce is at. I'm not Awa. I'm not from Africa. That's the problem. You see, you're missing the point if you're thinking that, because it doesn't matter if Marvin Oswald is doing this to his PNC book of business. You could easily do this with your life book and business. You could easily have these conversations with your friends, with your family.
Facebook, that's a book of business.
That's a book of business. Your social media accounts. You can post things, so you can plant seeds. So you just can't. For him, is like everybody has an advantage. The question is, are you taking advantage of your advantage? Everybody has an advantage. So don't think for a moment that these techniques, these tips, these stories are isolated to just a PNC book of business, or just isolated because I'm part of a community in Georgia. They're not. It's not isolated. That's where we use the advantage. But you can take these tips and use it across the board in any circumstances. But number one, the first word was committed. You got to be committed to doing it. Number two, we said you got to be aware of your surroundings. Marvin Oswald is aware. Number three, the next word I want you to write down is real. You got to be real. You have to be authentic. Is there any question that Marvin Oswald is not authentic? There is a contest right now, and it's wrapping up, it's finishing up. There's an FNG IUL contest. There's like 20 people on this leaderboard. You can go on there today, and of the 20 people on this leaderboard, six are from the Osuna Otsoy agency, and you don't get there because you are unauthentic. You're not being real. You're not committed. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens by conscious choice. So I'm going to piggyback off of what something that also was talking about with the children. Here's something that I do, and I guess what I do, I've done this a ton. With when I'm sitting down with the lead and I am making the original sale, I'll do this at the end. So I've done it on leads. I've done this with family members. I've done this on policy reviews and reviews. So this next technique I'm going to share with you is a way of getting additional sales, and basically is picking up where Oscar left off with the children policies. Here's one of the things I want to let you know. On average, I probably average between $10,000 to $15,000 of additional income every single year, just on child policies alone. Whether it be a Smart Universal Life, whether it be a Mutual of Omaha Children's Whole Life, whether it be a Fidelity and Guarantee Index Universal Life, or whatever the next product that might come our way. Either way, I typically average between $10,000 to $15,000 of additional commissions in the bank account every single year. And my question to you is, how would you be interested in making an additional $10,000 to $15,000, an additional? What could start to become a little bit different for you? And here's what I do. Number one, I'm committed. And also number three, I'm very real. So what I do is I have two daughters. Now you may not say, but that's the problem. I don't have kids. Find somebody with kids or use my stories. But either way, I got two kids. That's my advantage. I got two kids.
Wait, we're not advocating you having kids. If you don't have kids, we're not saying that. We're not pushing you.
They definitely will cost you more than $10,000 to $15,000 you're going to make. So don't worry. So here's what I do. Here's what I did. When I first learned about these Index Universal Life 15 years ago, and I saw the power of what it could do for the kids, I was sold. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So if you want to write additional policy, I don't care, it could be dental insurance, it could be whatever it is. If you want to start writing additional policies, find something that you can be passionate about, enthusiastic about. And when I first learned, like the Index Universal Life for Kids was the first additional sale, the first thing that I really learned about. And it was the first thing that I was passionate about. I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. So I designed a program for my, at the time, 1 and 3 years old, for Jenna and Olivia, where I was doing like $60 a month, every single month. And by the time they hit like the retirement age, they would have like close to like $1 million in there to supplement the retirement. I was like, this is the craziest crap I've ever seen. So I got my daughters those policies. I said, more people need to know about these things. So I printed off what also said I did. I printed off the illustration, but I only took like basically 1 page, like 2 pages. It's where they start off at 1 and 3 years old. And then I highlighted where, like, how much cash would be in there, like by the time 22 years old when they're wrapping up college, you know, how much should be in there if they're buying their first house at 30 years old, and highlighted at age 67. And I stuck that in my bag, put that in my Alliance training manual, my ATM, and I took that with me. And I was committed. And I was aware every single time I would be in a house with a client, whether it be a new client or an old client or a family member. If I was aware and noticed they had kids, they had grandkids, that illustration was coming out at the tail end. So after I finished doing whatever it is that we were set out to do, write a new policy, working on a lead, doing a policy review, whatever it was, I would finish the task at hand. And then I would get them talking about their kids when I wrap things up. I say, hey, I got something I want to show you. Have you ever heard of Head Start programs for kids? Have you ever heard of the Head Start program? Are you familiar with these policies like through Gerber Life? I go, listen, I found this thing. It's like Gerber for my kids. It's like Gerber Life on steroids. I still can't believe it. This is what I did for my 1 and 3 year old. What I do for my girls is that they both have life insurance. Not that they need it, because God knows I never want to think about something bad happening to them. But the reality is some things do happen, and I do want to be able to take some time off work. But that's not the real reason why I did it. I pay roughly about $60 a month, but I really only have to pay like $30 a month. But I choose to pay $60 a month. And my goal is one day when my daughters are old enough, when they're wise enough, this is going to be my gift to them. See, this is what I'm saying to the client. This is going to be my gift to them. I'm going to say, Jenna, this is your policy now. If you pay like $35 a month, you'll have like $200,000 for the rest of your life. But if you continue to pay like $60 a month into your account, what your mom and I've been doing, like right now, if you want to, I mean, you can cancel the policy. It's your money. It's your policy. You can cancel it, take out the money, pay back some student loans if that's what you want to do. Or you can maybe cancel at age 30, and now you've got like, you know, X amount of money for the help with the down payment on a house if that's what you want. It's your money. Or you can continue paying into it, and maybe by the time you hit age 67, you're at the full retirement age. You got over $1 million to supplement your retirement account with. This is yours now, my gift from me to you. And I'll be honest with you, Mr. and Mrs. Client, my girls don't act right. If they're not wise, I ain't giving them to them, because until I give it to them, it's my money.
We're going to go to the Bahamas.
We're going to go to the Bahamas. That's what we're going to do. Now, would you like to do something like this for your kids or your grandkids too? You don't have to do $60 a month like I'm doing. Like the most starter policies start off at like $5-6 a month, and they can go as much as you would like to do. Would you like to do something like this for your kids? And I've done $5-6 a month, Children's Whole Life. And I've done one where a guy does like $6,000 every single year. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. But it only happens because, one, I'm committed to doing it every single time I see kids. Number two, I'm aware of the fact that I see kids. Three, I am real. Like I'm being very real and authentic. I really do believe in it. I really am passionate about it. I really did buy the policies on my kids. So whether if you get policies on your nieces, your nephews, whether if you write one of these policies on your friends or family member or a client, you can keep illustrations. Or whether if you just want to say, hey, my boss, my colleague Jason and Tony Carey, they did this for their kids and I was blown away from it. You can find ways to be authentic and be passionate about it, because that does so much to create a significance in other people that you're talking to.
And really, we get to bring up our next guest, Mr. Marvin Osuna. He's been with our team for the last 10 years. Him and his wife, Rachel, are absolutely incredible at cultivating their book of business. And listen to those words, cultivating. Like, he just doesn't have clients. He just doesn't have people that he runs, but he cultivates his book of business to help grow his business. And it's so incredible to watch this couple grow, not only their clientele business, but now they're one of the fastest growing organizations in the country. And they're seeing success from coast to coast. So Mr. Marvin Osuna, you ready to give them some tips that'll help them sell more insurance to more people?
Let's do this. Woo! I love it. Thank you so much, guys. What an amazing opportunity. Again, my name is Marvin Osuna. I was brought into the business by my dear brother and sister, Jason and Tawny Carey. And Rachel and I give thanks to God all the time for the opportunity to be part of this team. And, you know, one of the things that I kept hearing when we were listening to Jason and Tawny, how they take care of their clients, Marvin Otsoy and Awa, is I heard two main things, which is caring for people and loving people. And so, you know, you could say, well, my business is here, or I'm just brand new, or I've been in the business for a while. So whatever it is, you can duplicate those two things. Start caring for people more, start loving people more, and then you'll find the way to help those clients, to help your friends, to help the people in your community. So I think that, you know, it just reminds me of how important it is to care for people. And one of the things that we do, you know, in our office is we always go back and help our clients who bought a term policy. And I'm going to give you 5 steps today on how I help all my clients that bought a term policy with us or an accidental policy with us, whether it was 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year, or 9 years ago, how we help them find permanent coverage and how we present it to them. And, you know, this just reminds me of one of our brand new agents. Her name is Barbara out of Los Angeles. She just called us a couple of days ago and said, you know, I'm talking to this lady that lives in you know, one of my neighbors. And she was telling me that she bought a policy 15 years ago from XYZ company. So it's another company that just sold her a policy. And like Tawny said, they never heard from the agent again. And she just got a letter saying that, you know, she went from like $50 a month to $300 a month because the term is up. And, you know, now she's got all these different health conditions. And, you know, she said that her friend was crying, you know, this lady is now in her 60s. And now she has to deal with, okay, what do I do with this policy? Do I still qualify for something else? How come no one told me? And so that is our mission, you know, and the way that we care for our clients is we make them aware of the fact that they can go from a term policy to a permanent policy. So step number 1, what we do is we go into the ARC every single day. So when you go into the ARC, there is a button there that says My Business. So you click on that tab right there. It says My Business. And then you go down to where it says CRM. And when you click on CRM, you're going to see a bunch of different little tabs. And one of them is going to say Today. It's just a Today tab. So we click on that. And that's where we find people that we have sold a policy to in the last 3, 6 months, or a year. So it gives you all the different anniversaries. It gives you birthdays and a lot of really great information that if we were to take the time every single morning to look at this, you know, we would be helping a lot of people. And that's why even if you're brand new in the business, when you call someone, you know, like let's just say you make a list of friends and family, 100 people, and you go, hey, look, I just got my insurance license. And you may have something in place already. That's okay. But I just want to show you what I do. So you can help brand new, people that you're talking to. You can help your current clients. You can help a lot of people just by getting in front of them and looking at their policy. So step number one, go into the ARC and look for their information. Step number two is booking the policy review. So we call our clients and we say, hey, we're giving you a call because it's time to set your required policy review. Sometimes we can't say annual because it hasn't even been a year. It's only been 3 months, but we say required policy review. Instead of annual review, we say required policy review. And, then we go ahead and we book the appointment with the clients. It's very simple because, of course, they already know who we are. Step number three is I order a statement or policy details page from whatever carrier I'm working with. So if they bought a policy from CFG, Mutual of Omaha, Foresters, whoever it is, all you got to do is just call the company and ask them for a policy statement. It's just a one-page summary of their policy. Kind of looks like this. If it's Foresters, it looks like this. And it'll have, all the basic policy information. And once you get the first one, then, talk to the sales desk and ask them to help you find that in your own portal, in your company portal. So whether it's Foresters, you can pull it up. CFG, it's very easy to pull it up. And so that way you are able to print policy statements for every single client. I never go on a policy review appointment without this sheet right here, without the policy statements, or they call it policy details page, whatever they call it. Just make sure that you are able to get that page so that you can talk to the client. Step number four is my job when I go over this with the clients is to edify whatever program they got. So whether it's a CFG, Foresters, whatever it is, I am there to edify and resell that policy because I want my client to know that they made a good decision when they bought it. It doesn't matter even if it's a term policy or an accidental. I want them to know that they made a good decision. I want them to feel empowered to make other decisions when I am with them. And so, I'll say, great job for getting this policy. Now, remind me again, what were we trying to accomplish? Was it to protect your mortgage? What were you trying to do? And as we start talking about it and they start giving me feedback, it's a way for me to resell the need, to find the why one more time, because there might be other opportunities there. But either way, I am there to make sure that the client knows why they bought the policy. And so it's kind of like I'm solidifying that sale. My job is to make my client feel special. I learned that from Jason a long time ago, is to make my client feel special. So whether it's a new appointment or an annual review, I need to make them feel special. So I need to edify their program. I need to edify the client and affirm the client, letting him know that they did make a good decision. How do I do this? Well, first, when I look at the company, whether it's CFG, Foresters, Mutual of Omaha, I'll say, I don't know if you know this, but this company gives you specific amount of coverage, whether it's 100,000, 200,000, and they have some additional riders. So if the policy has, for example, the chronic illness rider, and you can, look for the information on NA University if you want to know how the chronic illness rider works or the critical illness rider works. Most of these policies include those riders for free. And so I go over those riders with the client, and then again, I am edifying the policy. What you're going to find at the very top of any policy statement is that it's going to give you the type of program that they have. So it'll say like 15-year term, 20-year term, something like that. And I'll say, so we were able to establish this in 2015, and it's a temporary program for 15 years. and notice I didn't say term, I said temporary. So that is a way to plant a seed when I'm talking to them. And then I go and talk about their premium. I talk about the face amount, beneficiaries. If it's a forester's, I'll go over all the forester's benefits and help them sign up for the member benefits with foresters. But either way, as I'm talking about their beneficiaries, as I'm talking about the death benefit, I will also mention the word temporary again. So at least 2 times I'm talking about a temporary program. In other words, I'm letting him know that it's not going to last a long time. And then, because we're running out of time, step number 5, what I do at the end is I say, okay, guys, so now our companies are giving you the ability to look into a permanent program for yourself. And just so you know, maybe 20% of the time, I have to bring up a permanent program, because by the time I'm done going over the policy, I have used the word temporary maybe 2 or 3 times, to where most of my clients are asking, well, how do I make this permanent? Or how do I get out of this temporary program? Or tell me more about that. How does it work? And it's very, very simple. If you allow me to, I am going to just take 1 minute before we end the call to see if I can switch my camera. No, maybe not. Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to show you real quick exactly what I do. I just turn the piece of paper over and I go, this is your temporary program. And I write the word, or just write temp on there. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. And then I'll say, you know, if you get $100,000, you're covered from day 1. And in some cases, all the way up to age 95. But what happens is, if you choose this 15-year program, you pay a very low premium, and I write the letter P, pay a very low premium for, you know, 15 years, or whether it's $50 or $60, whatever it is. What'll happen is at the end of the term, it will jump up. So it could be 3 times, 5 times, 7 times more. I don't know, but it could go anywhere from $50 to $300 sometimes. And then every year after that is going to continue to go up. So initially, this is a good temporary solution, but now we're able to do this. And then I write the word perm, or abbreviate it, and then another rectangle real fast. And then I'll say the same thing. This will cover you from, you know, 100,000. It'll cover you from day 1. But if you live to be 100, they'll just give you the money in cash, and they'll just say, hey, go have a party because you lived a long time. So take this money and run. And, you know, they usually laugh about that. And then I'll say, but with this policy, you have a fixed premium. So based on your age, you're going to have a fixed premium. So the younger you are when you convert, the less expensive it's going to be. So that's, you know, that's a selling point. And then I'll draw a straight line and I'll say, this represents your premium, which means that it'll never go up. So this gives people peace of mind, knowing that their premium is not going to jump up. And then I'll say, after 2 years, for the most part, our insurance companies are going to start depositing dividends. And then I talk a little bit about how dividends work. It's just, you know, profit. And then they split it up little pieces. And this money is going to start to grow inside what's called a cash value account. And then later on, you can pull this money out. And typically, you don't pay any taxes when you pull the money out. So you can take it out for, you know, like retirement needs, or, you know, I want to go on a vacation, whatever it is, you're able to recover that money. So in this particular case, you are getting your money back. And so that's why the insurance companies are giving you an opportunity. And of course, you see my coin right there. That's why the insurance companies are giving you the opportunity to convert this to a permanent plan. By this time, it's not really a question of premium, because once I explain the two, I don't even ask, and I don't say, well, do you want to know how much it is? They'll say, well, what does it take for me to switch over to the permanent? Because I want the permanent plan. And then I'll go over a couple of options in terms of cost and everything. And it's very easy to convert policies. Sometimes insurance companies have like a 2-page application to convert. And we've been helping a ton of clients do that, qualify for trips just by converting policies all year. And so I think it's a great opportunity, if you're able to take advantage of that, or help if you're a brand new agent, you can help people that have term policies and, just make that quick presentation, and I'm sure it'll help. So thank you so much. I appreciate the time. Thank you for allowing me to talk to our family, the Alliance family, and help out a little bit.
Marvin, that is good stuff right there. That's stuff that anybody can take that information and they can use it and get results with it. I'm not sure people understand, like in the agency, like 75% of the volume that our agency produces come from additional sales, conversions, referrals, non-lead sources. And there was another word. So far, we talked about 3 words so far. We talked about commitment. We talked about awareness. We talked about being real. The last word is excellence. And that's something that you heard from Marvin Osuna. That's something that you heard from everybody. Everybody on this call today was an example of being committed, was an example of being aware of what was happening, was an example of being real. You hear Marvin Osuna talking about just the reality, being real, being authentic. And excellence, a commitment to excellence. What does that spell, by the way? C-A-R-E, care. You've heard that word, care. How much do you care? How much are you committed, aware, real, and excellence? Thank you, Mr. Tim Go, to give us that acrostic. I appreciate it. I used it today in our call. Couldn't have it without you. But everybody today is an example of that.
And team, this is our product call. We hope it has been crazy helpful for you. I would download the Alliance Media app where you can get a replay of all the calls that are taking place. We hope we got one nugget today that'll help put an extra $10,000 in your pocket. We're a part of the most incredible business out there, and we've got the most incredible team right here, right now. So with that being said, we'll see you on tomorrow's activity call. Let's go out there. Let's go have some fun. Let's go make some money, and let's go make a difference in people's lives. Bye, everybody.
We hope you learned something you can use moving forward on this episode. Be sure to join us every Thursday for a new episode. Thanks for joining us.